Well, hello and welcome to our very first video of our parish-wide Marian Consecration. In this first video that we're introducing for the first time this Marian Consecration, I want to talk about the reason why we are consecrating our parish and our entire parish family to Jesus through the Blessed Mother, what that really means, and what to expect over this next month as we prepare for our May crowning and consecration day. So the idea behind this Marian consecration comes from a great saint named Saint Louis de Montfort, who wrote up a 33-day consecration to Jesus through Mary. Now, our consecration is only 30 days, so we're just doing a month, so we're 3 days shy of what St. Louis de Montfort kind of set out. St. Louis de Montfort, though, just picked 33 days, so it's kind of like a day for each year that Christ was alive. We believe that Christ was around 33 years old when he died on the cross and rose triumphantly from the dead. The length of time really doesn't matter so much. St. Maximilian Kolbe, for example, wrote another Marian consecration, another consecration to Jesus through Mary that really doesn't have any set time at all. You just make it when you're ready. And then there's certain prayers that St. Maximilian prescribed to those who, what he called the militia immaculata. I'm sure many of you may have heard of that before. If not, that's something to go look up on Google. The idea, though, behind this consecration is that we are setting ourselves up to be totally devoted to our Lord Jesus Christ. To be consecrated literally means to be set aside for a particular purpose. All of us at our baptism were consecrated to be disciples of Jesus Christ. When I was ordained a priest, I was consecrated into the ordained priesthood. I was set aside for a particular purpose to celebrate the sacraments and to bring the salvation of Christ to the entire world, right? So to be consecrated means to be set aside for a particular purpose. We see that in baptism and holy orders and generally in blessings when we consecrate things, right? So altars are consecrated for the sacrifice of Christ on Calvary. Water is consecrated to bless homes and other objects and people, right? So this idea of consecration exists not just for things, but also for people, as I use the examples of baptism and ordination, right? And so our consecration to Jesus means that we are setting ourselves aside to be fully devoted and focused on our relationship with and becoming more like Jesus Christ. Now, we do that in this context of consecrating ourselves to Jesus through Mary. And so we're looking at our Blessed Mother as a model par excellence, as the first disciple. We're looking to our Blessed Mother as our nature solitary boast. These are some of the titles that we give Mary, because it's through Mary's intercession that we become more like her Son in this Marian consecration. And so what St. Louis de Montfort says, what I find most helpful, is when you think of who knows you best, so you personally, who knows you better than anyone else in the world? Your mother. Your mother knows you better than anyone else. God willing, this assumes that you know who your mother is and your mother's alive or has been alive for your life and that you know who your biological mother is. But biological mothers, even, it's also true with mothers who adopt children, but it's mostly perfectly true in our biological mothers because we grow inside of them. Literally, we were part of them. And so then when they give birth to us, there's even science that shows that parts of our DNA and whatnot, I'm not like a biologist, but I've read this, that part of us stay with our mother who gives birth to us. And so no one will ever know us quite like our mothers. That's not to put down fathers or parents who adopt. That's not the point of this, and please don't focus too much on that. But focus on the point that it's our mother who gives birth to us that knows us more intimately than anyone else ever will. So, to get to know someone well, it would be best to go to them, obviously, first, but also to go to their mother. And so if we want to get to know Jesus, St. Louis de Montfort says, if we want to get to know Jesus perfectly, we have to go to the source. We do have to go to Jesus. But we also go through his mother to find out more about Christ and his life and his passion, his love, his generosity, his mercy. We will learn all of that more perfectly by going through the source of his mother. And so that's what we're going to be doing over these next 30 days. We're going to be getting to know Jesus, but we're going to get to know him through his mother. So in a special way, we're going to be looking at the mysteries of the Rosary. So my biggest encouragement to you over this next month as we prepare to consecrate our parish and ourselves wholly and entirely to Jesus through Mary, that you pray the Rosary every day. Our seminarians will be giving reflections every day on the various mysteries of the Rosary, and then they'll pray that mystery with us in these videos. So even if whether you pray that one decade of the Rosary that the seminarians will lead each day, or if you pray an entire Rosary, which is my suggestion, you pray a whole Rosary every day, 5 decades, so go around the beads once. But to pray a Rosary every day, to begin to get to know Jesus through Mary, to grow in our relationship with our loving God who is risen from the dead. And that way on May 13th, when we celebrate our May crowning and we say our prayer of consecration to Jesus through Mary, we will know who he is. We will believe and have full trust in him. We will know that we too will rise from the dead. And we will know the loving embrace of his mother and how his mother helps us to be better disciples of her son, Jesus. God bless you all. Stay tuned on our YouTube page for more videos. Every day we'll post something new and to help us with our Marian Consecration. Know that I'm praying for you, and I ask you to please pray for me, Father Jim, Father Joe, and all of our seminarians, and for our parish, that we grow in love and devotion of Jesus through Mary.